Follow this exact schedule without skipping any steps, and in 1 week, you're going to feel better than you've felt in a long time. It's up to you after that, but if you keep striving for your goals and keep coming back to this schedule when you slip up, then you will be on track to your ideal life. I've honed this protocol down over the years to be as simple as possible. With that said, it will be challenging at times, but I know you can do it. So let's get started. Step 1. Take a break from mind-altering substances. For just 1 week, you need to quit alcohol, cannabis, kratom, Adderall, or any other mind-altering intoxicant. Caffeine and nicotine are still allowed, but don't increase your usage at all. If you don't usually partake in any of these things, then that's great, and you can move on to step 2. For the rest of you, I don't want you to quit right now. I want you to set a time tonight that will be the last time you use any of these things for the week. If temptations arise during the next 7 days, this is a good time to practice urge surfing. Look it up if you haven't heard of it before, but it is essentially a way to manage your urges by waiting them out until they subside. Step 2. Work on your long-term vision. At some point today, you need to handwrite 2 pages about your life. On the first page of paper, write about your dream life in 2 years. In 2 years, if you do everything you're supposed to do and everything lines up in your life, what does it look like? On the second page of paper, write the worst case scenario of what your life could look like in 2 years. If you continue on your downward spiral, what will your life look like in this time frame? Think about these 2 realities in the next week. Feel both the positive and negative emotions they elicit. Step 3. Walk and work. Start the remaining days of this week with a 10 to 30 minute walk outside. After this walk, begin working immediately afterwards. The type of work will be explained in the next step. Do not skip the walking. Force yourself to do it every day, even if you really don't want to. This walk is going to do 2 major things. Firstly, it will give you just enough of a mental and physical boost to be productive afterwards. Secondly, you'll begin to link taking a walk with your work session afterwards. The walk will be a cue for you to start doing something useful. This is why it's so important to immediately sit down after your stroll and to begin working on something. If you have a full-time job, I would suggest waking up earlier, but you can also perform the walk and work session after your normal workday. Step 4. Work days 1 through 7. Immediately after your walk, you should sit down to work. The first day, you will be setting work goals for the next 6 days. Everybody is in a different circumstance, but choose something motivating but accomplishable. For example, move your business or side hustle forward in some meaningful way. Or set an ambitious schedule of study for the week if you're a student. If you don't have a long-term career goal, then you will be working on finding one. Pick an area to research, journal, schedule a meeting with someone to discuss their career, and the like. Congratulations, you're done working for the day and now you have daily goals for the rest of the week. Repeat the walk in the morning and then the work session for the next 6 days. Step 5. Clean up your free time. This week you're going to have a lot of free time. You're focused and you're going to accomplish your daily task in most likely under 4 hours. You need to limit the following: video games, and scrolling algorithms that are video-based, picture-based, social media-based, or even news-based. The easiest thing to do is to replace these activities with watching movies or shows, listening to podcasts, or reading books. It would be good to prepare some quality content to consume. With that said, there are an infinite number of fun activities that you can partake in, from sports, playing music, hanging out with friends, learning a new hobby, and the list goes on. You are allowed 1 hour for either video games or scrolling algorithms. You can do it all at once or in chunks, as long as it's not before you go to sleep. If you haven't realized this by now, excessive video game playing and scrolling zap your motivation levels and can easily cause you to slip into a downward spiral. Step 6. Clean up your diet. As far as diet, we're going to go for a bare minimum of health. Here are things you can consider: eliminating fast food, eating more unprocessed food, limit snacking, and replacing sugar drinks with water. I think we all know what eating healthy is for each of us. Move in this direction, but don't go overboard. We're already limiting ourselves in other ways, so we don't want to go crazy with drastically changing our diet this week. With that said, we also don't want to replace former bad habits with eating garbage food and sugar. Step 7. The last thing you need to do. You need to get quality sleep to get your life back on track. Aim to get 8 or more hours every night if possible. And don't plan one of your social media or video game time blocks before bed. Reading is the best, but if you're going to watch something before sleep, then make sure it's not some extreme horror or action movie. Also, don't eat at least 2 hours before you sleep. Also, limit the amount of light at night. After you complete the week, reflect on your ideal future in 2 years. Now's the time to really think about how you're going to get there. You're free to go back to doing whatever you want, but I would suggest that you introduce a little more moderation into your life. Do you really need to be playing video games 4 hours a day? Do you need to smoke every day? Do you constantly need to be looking at your phone? The answer is no. And remember to appreciate the moments of accomplishment you'll experience this week. Also, be grateful for the difficult times, because if it's a struggle, that means you're fighting towards the future that you truly deserve.